Okay, welcome back. Pashupati Advani is now with us, founder and chairman of Global Foray. Pashupati, good to have you with us here. Good afternoon. Thanks for your time. It's good to always see you, and seeing you for the first time, I think, in the new year. So, wishing you the best. Pashupati, the big call on RIL, if you have one, and if you own the stock, and stocks fallen relentlessly, right? One of the big underperformers of 2024. Slowly, I think sell-side analysts are starting to come out with calls saying, well, it's cheap, time to start to buy. Any thoughts here? RIL.
You know, RIL, I know they own a significant chunk of your channels, but I will say that it has got hammered because the results were not that great last time. But I think there's a talk of trying to list Jio shortly, and I think that will be good internationally as well. And but I think it has come as a shock. I mean, went below 1,200, so that came as a big shock to people. It seems to be coming back, but then all the oil and gas stocks came off. I mean, 20%. Of course, Reliance is a big chunk of it. But if you look at the highs of oil and gas versus where they all are now, they've all come off quite a bit. So at A, you've got the performance of Reliance going back into going up with the oil and gas stocks and the energy stocks. And B, you're looking at the fact that they are planning some financial engineering or listing of Jio and all, which will put value back in the stock. So it's a very difficult stock to analyze. I think that's the problem. And I think that there must have been some, obviously with AFI selling, it's a big holding in everyone's portfolio. So they've decided to lighten up, and that happened before year end. And now it seems to be correcting itself slowly. So all in all, I think it's probably time to get your fingers or your toes wet and come back into the stock if you've got out.
Okay. So Reliance is interesting. So Pashupati, hi. Afternoon. Reema here. You didn't like IT when we last spoke to you. You liked pharma. What are you doing now? How are you constructing your portfolio? And any new ideas that you'd like to share? Any new stocks you bought?
So what I'm looking at is that I'm looking at which are the sectors that have got hit. Okay. Pharma has not got hit at all. I think the index is off maybe 2-3%. IT also is off maybe 5-6% from the highs. I'm talking about from the 2024 highs. So I feel that, I particularly don't, I mean, people like IT because the rupee is getting weaker against the dollar. I personally feel that long-term, AI is going to change the way the game is played. And I think that I'm not sure that our IT companies can actually move that fast. The flip side of that is that if people don't use Indian IT, they're not going to use any IT at all. And I think that they also got hit because of the H-1B controversy in the US, on which a lot of Indian companies depend. So I think that that's also part of the game. But I think in that, the Trump, Elon Musk gang will win the H-1B situation. I think it's going to be easier to get visas to get our techies into the US. So, but I'm still not comfortable with IT. Where I am looking is energy, oil and gas, a little bit in cement, autos, just to see where the values are. And there have to be values. I mean, of course, auto sales came in December. They weren't as good as November. So people were very upset. But I think that, things are going to settle down, and people are buying autos. And I guess the toppers like M&M and, maybe Eicher, I guess, have done well.
So which auto stocks, Pashupati? Is it Eicher and M&M or any other stocks in your portfolio?
No, so those are the blue-eyed ones, and I'm not so. The other thing is I'm not sure where the tractor market is going and whether there's going to be renewals. So I actually need to take a look at that to see whether there's some value there. But of course, Eicher and M&M have been roaring up, and I think they're showing a bit of a correction now. But I don't think they're going to go down too much. That's my personal feeling.
Pati, hi, good afternoon, and season's greetings. Wish you a very, very happy 2025.
Hi,
I can say years come and years go. Pashupati always looks the same. It's just absolutely, timeless. And we always benefit from your wisdom through so many years. So great to have you with us. I wanted to talk to you about one space where you were an early mover. These new age companies. I remember discussing Zomato and Nykaa, some of these names with you. Even Paytm, I think you got in, and then things went kind of south. But you've been watching these companies up close for a while now. Where are you on food delivery and quick commerce? Because I don't know now whether it's getting a little too crazy. 10-minute delivery, 15-minute delivery. People are launching newer apps. Our colleague was just reporting Swiggy is now launching a brand new app apparently for 15-minute cafe-style delivery. Still value or still value?
Is that going to be a subscription app? It probably has to be, to get money in the till. No, but honestly, I'll tell you, the Chinese have been able to do it. So, I mean, in sense, we really should be able to, if they do it in 10, we should be able to do it in 15. And I think that is happening. Our marketplace has got disrupted so that, deliveries are faster. What was surprising me was something like a Jubilant, where they were saying they were delivering pizzas in 10 to 12 minutes. And I think that is like, unbelievable almost, but they happen to be doing it. So I guess, with the number, if you're within a certain radius of a Jubilant outlet, you're getting the pizzas in 10 minutes. So good luck to them. But I think, everybody has got these new age things. They're here to stay. I mean, everyone's homes, they're no longer cooking as much as they used to, and they're now outsourcing. The question is that our economy is still buoyant. If our economy turns, then obviously these new age people will come off, because then people will say, okay, we've got to save money, so we'll stop eating food from out, even though it's coming from Zomato or Swiggy. Going back to the new age, Paytm has always looked nice, but then there were some regulatory things against it. One is that it was Chinese owned, and second is that they took away the bank, and then they've become a payment gateway. So there's been some, but despite that, it went from 600 to 900 in probably 2 to 3 weeks. So, it's still good, but I personally think it's a little expensive at 900, but I think that, there is some story there. Zomato, Swiggy, they're slugging it out. Nykaa, the challenge is that they've got now, a couple of new brands that have come into the space, one of which is owned by Reliance. So I think that's going to be a challenge for them. And I don't know. I mean, the Reliance brand is consolidated in Reliance Industries. Nykaa is a standalone. So, they seem to be slugging it out in the streets. And the fourth one was Policy Bazaar, which seems to be chugging along nicely, and was one of the new age ones. But, it goes back to, are IPOs worth it? They all came in 24. What happens? And what about the IPOs that are coming now? And I think that's a different game. And if you look at IPOs 1 year down the road, most of them have not done too well. And there are a few jewels that have sort of doubled and tripled, but those are really the few. And how you find them is, I guess, what we all get paid to do.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Advani. Good afternoon. Good to see you, Ben. Very quickly, before we let you go, there has been this slowdown in terms of capex spend, which is suddenly now gradually coming back in the last month and a half or thereabouts. But you have been broadly positive, a couple of these stocks. I think we've discussed L&T in the past, J. Kumar Infra as well. What's the topic from that space now?
See, I don't believe that the government is still driving the economy with their own spend. I don't think they have let up at all. So I think all the infrastructure companies have to continue to do well. The index as a whole is off maybe 12, 14%, something like that. But I think that there are jewels within this that will turn around and go back up, because, okay, there may be a lull. Maybe they're waiting for the budget, which is in 2-3 weeks' time, and then they'll give some further allocation. But I think that's a space to be, because it is a proxy for the growth in India. We need more infrastructure, whether it's buildings, whether it's roads, whether it's, bridges, all sorts of things are being built, and, railways. So, definitely, I mean, if you look at the, Nifty Infrastructure Index, it's down, over the last, from the 24 highs, it's off maybe, 12, 13%. So who knows what to do. But I'm very positive on infrastructure, and I think that that's really one of the places to be.
Okay, all right. Pashupati, we'll leave it on that note for today. Thank you very much for joining in, and look forward to many more conversations in 2025. Well, on that note, we need to slip into a quick break. Come back on the other side. As always, all the buzz and chatter from dealing rooms today, and then some final trading calls coming up with Mitesh.